Okay, so this is the last video for Project 6.3 Manage Customers. We're just going to pick up right where we left off. So what we're going to need to do now, and now that we have our edit form, we want to be able to handle the click action of this Update Customer button. So this is our selected customer form. That's what I named it. So what I need to do is find out the form action value is Update Customer. So we need to set up for this form an if action for Update Customer. I've got it right down here. Handle click action of Update Customer button, Update Customer. So following our steps, step one is to get values. So we need all the values from the form. So let's make some room and bring it up. Okay, so there's all our values from first name all the way to password. And we're getting to the input post. Okay, so we would normally, because we've used the JavaScript pop-up windows that stop it from submitting the form without a value in there, we don't need to do any extra validations. But if you didn't want to use that, you will need to have a validate section here that shows the if each one of these variables equals a null value. You want to be able to display an error message, which we've done in the past with Product Manager. But the required in each text box is really very easy, so I recommend it. Let's go ahead and put that back in there. And so now we've got our values. Step two says we need to take these values and go create a function. So this is what I came up with. I've got Update Customer. And the very first row represents all of our field values here. So this value, first name, just to remind you, is actually coming from this text box name. The name of this text box is first_name. When the form submits, PHP takes each one of these values and it's going to save it with the name you gave it for the text box and add a $sign to the front. So you want to make sure that you're using that correct naming in the top, and you want to go in the same order that they are in the table. So let's look at that real quick. I've got that right here. You'll notice customer ID is in here, but it is auto increment, so we don't have to use it. It can be left out. Now, we could have used the customer ID for our where clause instead of using the email address. I chose to use email because email was already on the form. If I decided to use customer ID, I would have had to use a hidden field, add it to it. I thought, why not? You know, it's already here. But just to let you know, it was an option. So second, we have our set column. These are all our column names. On the other side are the representations of these variables with the values in them. So they're getting them all together, lining them up, preparing the query, buying the values, and execute. Straightforward. It's quite long, so it's a little bit of typing. So the very next thing we need to do is just bring in our index page, after our values, we need to add our new function. And I made some notations about the form handling, the validations, making sure that the program knows that I am just using JavaScript to pop-up message to protect from null values being added. I did make a note about my required fields before submitting. Unique key email has a read-only to prevent faults. So that's just for notation. And then we want to execute our update function. So here's our update customer function. And now after that is clicked, there is no real instruction on this as far as the assignment is concerned, how you handle this. You can do it one of two ways. You can either, like this one here, this is just an extra just for demonstration. We select, let's put in Tom. There we go, and let's update our customer. But see, this will have to actually, we won't know because it just takes us back to customer search. We have to go to our table, browse, refresh. And then you have to make a note of the name you changed, which was, ours was Bradley. Let's go down. We have Tom 30502. Okay, that's great. We updated it fine. But watch what can happen here. Let's search for him again. Select. And let's take out his first name and his state. Oh. Now the pop-up message would have stopped that. There are no validations on this one either, so it just allowed it. And look what it did to the database. Refresh. Now Bradley has lost a name and a state. And we want to avoid that. We really don't want to be adding anything like that. Now, normal tables would not accept a null value for a name. This is just an exercise and a lesson to show us we need validations. Pop-up messages are just the easiest way, I think. So, getting back to what we were doing, we have our update function. So now we need to have some kind of either confirmation page or we need to manually check. And that's just up to you, however you want to handle that. So what I'm going to show you is how I did it, and that was by using an extra table for a confirmation message. So how I did it was I created a new page called Updated Customer. Very simple little page, just has 4 columns. It's a little table, name, address, and phone. I concatenated the first and last name together. Okay, and from my function, I forgot to mention, I'm sorry, I did use the select customer function. Let's go back and I'll show you. Oops. Bear with me, guys, I'm getting tired. Alright, so confirmation message after the update. So I'm going to reuse the select function that I created for the search edited customer. We used it right up here. Here it is. Customer, select customer by email. That is going to get us the exact customer. We could search by last name again, but then we might get several people in our table. We just want one updated customer to verify. So I picked email because it's very specific. It is the unique key. So I'm reusing that same function again, loading the results into my customer array, and then on my updated customer table, you'll notice that I just referenced my customer array that I have, and then each value by its index in the array. So address, city, and state, zip code all go together in one field. Let's look at it. Let's update our customer. Perfect. So we have Charlie Bucket. Fits in there pretty nice. Very compact and easy. My select button is still set up to be able to come back, resubmit. If I want to change something else, go back. And the only thing really on this one that you need to watch for is just to make sure that they're in the same order, that you're checking for null values, making sure you have a pop-up message or something to protect. And then after I had my customer values loaded from my function, I displayed them on my form. So I'd want to just display the updated customer PHP page, which is this one right here. So I hope that walked through. I hope I didn't go too fast or forget to explain anything. If you have any questions, let me know. But otherwise, good luck on the assignment. It's due Sunday. See you guys soon. Bye.